It's action.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Rolling. There's nothing actually rolling.
There's nothing rolling. Yeah. Except your fucking eyes.
Yeah, right. Right. Click, click, click.
What's good, you creeps?
As you can tell, unscripted.
Unscripted is
unscripted podcast. Fucking 85% of your stuff is about murder.
About murder. That's fair. Because our listeners love fucking murder. Hit them up with the Gmail.
You can send us an email with your suggestions, comments, or concerns at basedontrueeventspodcast@gmail.com.
Boom. Oh, did you already hit that? Sorry.
Yeah, I already hit that shit. I hit that shit. Asshole. I got all these cords and shit. It's all like in my grabbing area.
I'm like, clap.
It's all in my grabbing area, man.
Oh.
Gosh.
What's up, man?
You know.
You know.
Fucking dreams.
Yeah. A ton of coffee.
Fortune and glory, bro.
Living the life.
Yeah.
L-I-V-I-N.
Right.
Well, I am, not to rub it in, after we were just talking about how you're like, I'm kind of exhausted. I'm saving my energy. I, on the other hand, came back from vacay, and I'm well rested.
Well rested.
Well rested.
Well rested.
As you can tell. Wascally wabbits. I'm well rested. No, a 12-hour drive. Well, no, 6 hours. But, and then just a full week with the
Does
two.
that equal 12?
It does, but I didn't do 12 at one time, is what I'm saying. But with a 2-year-old, I thought was going to be much worse than it was. But I tell you, gummy bears and an iPad, bro. Save the day.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't give your kid those. Well, have you seen the thing about the sugar-free gummy bears or some shit? Like, there was a meme going around, or I don't know if it was a meme, but like everybody was eating these sugar-free gummies or something and shitting themselves.
No.
So that's what I was saying. It wasn't the sugar-free.
No. Dude, like I told you earlier, man, like we weren't on here, but I think I'm getting ready to walk away from social media altogether. I think I'm just
You're pretty much already like.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I think I'm done.
What was the? Why don't you tell the listeners what the last straw was? Was it last straw or last straw?
Straw. Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, it was some fucking horse shit on social media where it was like 13-year-old girl impregnated by 10-year-old boy is now to be an influencer on fucking and I'm just like, dude, I'm fucking done. Like, I'm done with the planet. Like, fuck everything. You know?
So I have not seen or heard of that, thank God, because I don't want to lose more faith in humanity. But
dude, I'm
at the same time, poor kid.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know.
Dude, yeah,
That's a child.
I'm literally about to take the family and just sign up for going to Mars.
Dude, no, let's go to where we're gonna go. No, where are you from?
Norway,
Norway,
man.
dude.
Yeah, dude, I think that could very possibly be.
I don't know how I would do with the cold, but I would adapt.
They have heaters. It's not you're
You
not
just
like
stay inside.
You're not like carving life out of a fucking glacier.
I'm not living
you
in
don't
an
have to
igloo.
build an igloo. Yeah, like dude, just go. Yeah, fuck. And you're in Europe. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you can
travel.
You can travel.
Yeah,
it's 5 minutes to everything.
Nice. Norway is definitely on our list. She really wants to go.
That seems like the last place I would imagine your wife would want to go.
She wants to, yeah, dude. For some reason, her vacation spots in her mind, like, outside of, well,
the States.
Yeah, which she doesn't really have.
Well, she shouldn't give a fuck about any place over here.
Not really.
Yeah.
She's like, cool, the beach was nice, it was pretty. And then she's like, all right, look, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't...
We found some shark's teeth and shit, which is fun.
Like, I can put up with cold a lot better than hot.
Yeah.
So...
Because you're a bear.
My wife wants to, like, whenever she has the option, like, go on vacation or something, she wants to go to, like, a beach. And and just like sit out in the sun and be hot and fucking sweat, and I'm like, dude, I'm fat. Like, I don't.
You're not anymore, dude.
I don't want to just sit out in the fucking heat and sweat and be miserable and not do anything. Like, I don't drink. I don't fucking like.
I used to love sitting on. That's what I was getting ready to say. I used to love sitting on the beach because I would drink beer. It was an excuse to drink beer or whatever. I went out there because the kid took a nap, and I went out there. I was like, I'm gonna go enjoy the peacefulness, and I did film that hilarious video that I sent you for the challenge. But other than that, I was like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, oh my fucking god, yeah, dude, I'm like this water, dude. Like, it's pretty. Take a picture. All right.
So, I mean, but the caveat to that is that as Knox is getting older, you want to kind of make sure he gets some experiences and tries some new things, and you know, gets to kind of see some of these things. So I will put up with heat and beaches and stuff, but I'm really like, no fucking way I'm going to Florida.
So I will say this about that, because we talked about it before, and you gave me a death stare like you're an idiot right now for going to Florida, and it's fair, that's valid. Mm-hmm. I went to Florida, and I was nervous. Now, I knew where we were going was secluded and everything else, but still just, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, God, COVID, Florida, numbers really high. There were more people wearing masks in Florida than in Louisville. Yeah. By far. And I think it's because, it's mandatory now. They finally got their shit together, so I'm glad I went down there and I'm like, okay, word. Like, everywhere you went, no, mask. I had one, but I saw them turn people away. I was like, nice.
Yeah. Well, they did get their ass handed to them.
Big time.
By some numbers.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So, I don't know, dude.
But anyway, it was awesome. We were safe, but I don't blame you for saying, not right now.
You know, I not to be this guy, but we could have been done with masks back in like April.
If we had worn them.
Had everybody just sucked it up for a fucking month, and now here it is. Like we're running on 6 months of dealing with this. But no, I digress. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck all of it.
Fuck all of it.
Like, yeah, I'm over it.
Well, hey, that's fair. That's all right. Now we can. Now it's time to
on to new things.
On to new things. Speaking of which, I think I'm excited about tonight's episode because I know nothing about it, and so I don't know if I can't tell from you if you're like or whatever. So not to jump right into it because we still got to tell everybody where they can find our shit. But I mean,
they're here. They found it.
They
found our shit.
Congratulations, you have found it. So do whatever you just did. Every Sunday at midnight.
Yeah. Stumble upon us on the internet.
Yeah. Or you can go throughout the week, any day, anytime, to our website.
Yes, and you can check out old episodes.
That's right, which we have. I was trying to think how many we actually have right now. What's the total?
It's like 78.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to do something special,
well,
something dope for the 100th.
We shifted from 2 episodes a week down to 1. To move into the patron site,
right,
and some things like that, and just really, I mean, dude, pumping out 2 full fucking episodes a week
it was brutal.
Yeah,
we did it and it was fun, but it was tough.
And my work and your work doesn't really allow for that.
It got cranked up tenfold for me, which is strange that for COVID. I know a lot of people didn't, but I got busier, and now you're busy as fuck. So.
Yeah,
it's smarter, and I think that. And by the way, we just blew past.
Yeah, what's our website?
Well, okay, podcast. No, cut. Edit. No, BOTEpodcast.com. But what I was going to say is, go to BOTEpodcast.com. You can get all of our links to all of our to all of our
episodes,
social media sites.
All 80 of our episodes.
Almost 80.
Well, we're well past 80.
Oh, we are.
Because we had to, for audio quality, we took
took a few down, that's true. But what I was going to say, we blew past, is you said the patron. The reason we did that is because if you do want to go and support us on our patron, or become a patron on patreon.com/based on true events podcast, hint, hint, No, but if you choose to help us out and try to up the quality of the show, we'll give you that second episode a week.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, like, I'm thinking about doing, like, a reverse OnlyFans, where it's like, you have to pay us, or you will receive nude pictures of Josh.
We're going to start sending you nudes, unless you pay
Unless you pay us.
Dude, that's it.
That's it, man.
That's the one, man.
Reverse OnlyFans.
That's awesome. Trademark.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Reverse the whole fucking thing.
Reverse OnlyFans.
The more money you pay, the more clothes I wear.
That's it. And he hates being hot, so
yeah.
Come on,
man. I'll be in here in a fucking winter coat in 90 fucking degree weather.
Four hoodies.
Yeah.
Reverse. What is it called? Fans only?
OnlyFans, whatever.
I like how you know that.
Yeah, it's fucking all. Again, another reason I'm about to walk away from fucking social
society
media.
in general.
Dude, fuck them all. Everybody's an amateur porn star these days. So.
Apparently I am as well, unless you give us money.
Unless you give us money.
Right.
So we have I Wrote for BOTE.
Yeah.
We got You Choose, We Lose episodes.
Which this is the number four,
yeah.
that you guys voted for. And we will throw out 4 more here shortly.
Yep. And then we vote again and again
and again and again
and again. We keep going in a circle. We are well over 16,000 downloads.
Thanks, guys. Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah. So.
It's really amazing, actually.
Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Just two assholes sitting in the basement.
Yeah, that's
bitching
right.
about fucking everything.
Bitching about everything and throwing in some decent storytelling.
Yeah.
Got to give some props. I've enjoyed the ride immensely. So it's pretty fucking fantastic that we would still be doing this if we had 1 download.
Yeah.
I mean,
man, we're gonna get number 2.
Shooting for the stars,
yeah.
man.
So merch is on its way.
Yeah.
Sometime in 2024, when the world opens back up, we'll go to Waverly.
We'll hit up Waverly.
And we'll start the second plague. Kicking around in a fucking tuberculosis hospital.
Yeah, that's right. We'll do that.
Stay tuned for collabs if we do a collab.
Yeah, collabs. Hopefully, still be doing that. And we're pretty damn selective.
Yeah.
I personally am selective for one reason. I don't know many people that wouldn't irritate Shep to like no end, because I want you to be able to enjoy it.
Well, but the other thing is like there's a lot. Not to be this guy, but if we were doing a collaboration, like I don't let you get away with shit.
No.
And you're a good friend of mine.
Right.
We've known each other for a long time.
A long ass time.
And so if I won't let you like cross with some bullshit.
Imagine these poor bastards.
Yeah, somebody just comes in the lion's den. I'm gonna rip them apart.
Right. Like, that's why I'm saying selective.
Yeah, so, it just is what it is.
But anywho.
But yeah, so there's a couple things we might have on the back burner, a couple ideas that we've been kicking around. So it's all about time and make it work right.
That's right.
That's it.
And now getting back to it, I'm excited about this episode, I think, because I don't know shit about it.
Oh, you don't know shit about anything, bro.
Well, that's fair. So, par for the course.
Par for the course.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to sit back and enjoy. This was actually suggested. I feel like it's been quite a while, but then it got re-suggested, and I'm glad we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Because for some reason the first time it didn't. I don't know. I looked over it, but just based on a meme and just googling the name, I'm kind of curious.
Okay.
So
cool.
The floor is yours.
Okay. You want to talk about vacations?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm back.
So this is the. I'm actually. I will say before I get into this, I'm very happy I pulled this episode. Actually,
Are you? Cool.
I didn't really know much about it going in, but after doing like 10 minutes of research into it, I was like, oh, I can sink my teeth into it.
Oh, sweet. Well, I knew it was historical. Like
that the joke will make sense later on, and I'll sink my teeth into it.
Okay.
Statement, but.
Oh, right. Because of fangs?
There's not really fangs, but cool. Alright, anyway, so tonight's episode is Elizabeth Bathroy.
Bathory.
I call her Bathoy. That's actually another joke, another dad joke on horribly dark comments.
Okay.
So she's also known as the Blood Countess. She is thought to possibly be one of the contributing origin stories for Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I think is bullshit. But she came from the exact same area as your boy Vlad Tepes, the Vlad the Impaler.
That's your boy.
Yeah,
which was a dope episode. By the way.
120 years later, this chick shows up in the same fucking area. So if anybody who is unaware,
I get to sink your teeth into it.
Yeah,
I thought I was right. I was like, wait, vampire? Yeah.
So she's known as the Blood Countess because she's a fairly dark historical figure. But we are going to kind of sort through some of the legend and lore of this horror story, and kind of go from there, man.
All right.
She is actually what is considered the world's first or earliest known serial killer.
Yeah, see, I couldn't remember if it was the same person. I was thinking about vampire, or is it the first female serial killer?
Dude, so there's a lot with this chick, right? So as we go through, I'm gonna kind of sort through some of like, this is probably not true. This is probably true. But she was labeled a witch. She was labeled a vampire. There's some interesting shit that goes on at the end of the story that kind of builds into that legend and lore. So anyway, she's literally known as the first historical figure to be considered a serial killer.
Not the first female, the first.
Period. First serial killer in recorded history.
But she was after Vlad?
Yeah.
Because he's not considered
because he's like like he did things more as like the state. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a fucking warlord.
Yeah.
This is just some chick.
He was a mass murderer.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I got it.
So I mean, I say she's some chick, but she's not really. She was actually born in 1560 near Hungary, and to one of the most influential families in Central Europe. The fact that she did have that, family tie meant that she was one of the most well-educated young women of the time. She actually learned.
So they were like super wealthy too.
Oh yeah,
like they were.
So she actually she learned Hungarian, Slavic, Greek, Roman, German, and like she learned all these different languages, which meant that she could kind of like move around in Central Europe pretty smoothly. And I was thinking that might be like kind of important to her story. Doesn't fucking mean anything, because at the age of 10, she actually gets engaged to a count who's 15 years old. But
how old was she?
10. She was 10.
And he was 15?
Yeah.
Is this like a forced marriage thing?
I mean, I think all the marriages were forced back then,
15. What year was it?
1560.
1560?
Yeah. So, anyway, so she, as a very young child, she suffered many ailments from the time that she was born. Most people attribute this to the fact that her mother and her father were first cousins. She had violent...
A very good, well-off family.
Yeah, well, you got to keep the money in the family, bro.
Keep it. Oh God.
Blue people.
Blue people.
She suffered from violent epileptic seizures, but the time period and the area that she lived in was a very violent place. And so you're kind of considering these epileptic seizures and the locale of where she grew up. She was actually, from a very young age, already pretty dark. She enjoyed the finer things in life, like watching the slaves be beaten in the front yard, and enjoyed laughing at the servants as they were punished for not doing their job.
What a nice kid.
Yeah. So, her family
she's
was
that character in the movies. Always the
yeah,
the evil step.
oh yeah,
whatever.
dude, she's fucking horrible. Man. So anyway, her family was like the reason that she was able to marry this count at a very young age, or was betrothed to
Able
this count,
to, right?
is because her family was essentially very rich, but they were kind of like trying to like shore up. We want the future to be.
We want the count money.
We want that count money. So at age 10, she moved into the household of her future mother-in-law, where she would learn to manage the estate and the many properties of the Countess and her future lands.
Like they put her to work.
Yeah. History records that one of the earliest stories of her is she laughing hysterically at a thief who was tortured and killed by being sewn into a horse in the street.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is a good story. I went and did some side research on this.
Okay, you're gonna.
Yeah,
You're
sewn
gonna have to,
into a horse.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain to me what that means.
Okay, so one way to get rid of people back in the day was known as being sewn into a horse. What they would do is they would take the offender and break their arms and legs, crush their chest cavity to the point that the bones were broken, but the person was still alive. Then they would take a dead horse and open up its belly and slide the crumpled body inside the body of the horse, and then sew it back up and leave it in the street to rot while you died.
Oh my God!
Sewn into a horse.
Sewn into a horse. That is not funny. I don't know. That is fucked.
Yeah, that is. She laughed her ass off at watching this happen.
That's even more fucked, I think. But
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I got a dark sense of humor, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not funny. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm laughing. I think defense laughter for sure. That's dark.
I'd never heard of that before.
No, never.
Before doing this.
I'm trying to picture, and I'm like, the first thing I thought was.
Oh, I got pictures.
Poor horse.
I mean, I don't have pictures, but like the etching things that they did.
Last one I saw, I took some photos.
Mm.
Well, no, but I immediately was like, oh, poor horse, dude.
Yeah.
But
apparently, being sewn into things is a fairly popular way of dispatching of the less desirable people in other areas, and to some extent still used today. I didn't know that.
Where?
I would imagine in places you don't want to get caught.
Right. Where should I not vacation?
Yeah, like, I don't know, but I would imagine that cartels probably sew you into things.
Sew you into things. Oh, man. And then just left you in the street?
Yeah, just so you bake in the sun.
What's that smell?
Well, you know what the fucking smell is. It's either the dead horse or the guy dying in the horse.
Inside the dead horse.
Screaming.
Screaming. Because they're still alive.
So they leave it open enough that you can, like, breathe.
So you'll suffocate.
But all your bones are broken, so you can't force your way out.
Yeah, you're in immense pain.
Yeah, and then you just sit there and either starve to death or die from the infection. So, sewn into a horse.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man. So, on to...
That's fucking medieval, man.
Well, yeah. Welcome to the 1560s.
Right.
By the way, I brought notes, so
yeah.
There's a moment or two where I...
This is like 2 in a row.
Yeah, right. So anyway...
I don't know where you're going to go from here.
So it's like I said, at 10 years old, she went and moved in with her 15-year-old Count...
Ding dong.
Yeah. Fiance.
Fiance.
Yeah, and she's kind of quiet in this time period, but apparently she gets knocked up by a peasant boy out in the woods, and basically kind of keeps it quiet that she's pregnant, and there's a lot of like hearsay as to whether or not she actually gave birth to the child. But the legend has it that she gave birth to the child, and the child was kind of hidden and taken away. But there's no real lineage of what happened to the child and things like this.
How old was she when she got?
It was like 14. So anyway, the Count, her fiance, finds out that she had relations with this young peasant boy, So he decides.
He's 19.
Yeah, so he decides to castrate this young man and throw his naked, bleeding body into a pen with hungry wild dogs, where he's eaten alive, and in front of his
his wife,
future wife,
right.
to which they both enjoy watching.
Oh God,
the torture and death.
So they're both sucking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
By the way, let me just take a second. Lori, holy hell, she's the one who suggested this. Jesus.
Yeah. No, dude, this
I don't know if you did research or not, but damn.
This is the beginning, dude. This is not. This isn't. I haven't even gone for the fences. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah. So anyway, I will kind of speed up a little bit. So she ends up getting when they finally do tie the knot. He gives her a castle, and it's like, well, I mean, he's a count. Like,
right.
This area, like, there's no shortage of castles, bro.
Tons of castles.
Yeah, I was like, oh. But anyway, so she gets this castle, and it's even amongst the other castles in like Hungary and that area, this one is considered one of the most gothic, dark, like menacing castles.
Very fitting.
Yeah, and it would become what would be her like torture layer.
Oh boy. God, dude.
So
suck it, Holmes.
During
I can just imagine.
During the early days of the wedding and the marriage, the husband and wife, the newly married couple, enjoyed watching these slaves and peasants being tortured in front of them, to the point where it is really considered that her husband is who taught her the finer ins and outs of torture. Things, any manner of common torture at that time. I think one thing is like the pear, the Iron Maiden.
I'm worried about what's common at this point from the way. God,
well, I mean, put this in the idea that this is 100 years later than Vlad the Impaler, who was a brutal motherfucker,
eating people,
and all they did was like 100 years of more brutal.
Right.
Okay. So her husband goes off to war, in the long war with the Ottoman Turks, and she is left with managing his estate, which is multiple properties, palaces, that type of thing.
She's a queen.
She's a countess. So she answers to a king.
You're right.
But she successfully repels multiple attacks on their lands with a brutal hand.
Oh.
She is not to sleep on. This bitch is ready to roll, son.
She's a beast, huh?
Yeah. So it's said that Elizabeth and her husband bonded over violence and torturing servants and peasants. Peasant girls, by the way. Almost always women, and they had a penchant for the young girl.
Yeah. Let's go light on the child murder.
They do. One of their favorite pastimes, because they don't have TV. You know, it's basically called the hot foot. They would roll up pieces of paper dipped in oil and tie the servant girls down and light the paper on fire between their toes and watch it burn.
How fun!
So,
dude, that's mean.
Yes.
Jesus,
dude, it's torture.
It's torture.
So
I like the not mean torture. Is that a thing?
No. So one of his gifts to his wife was a claw-studded glove, which she used to scar the faces of her servants and peasants.
Bitch slapping people with nails.
Bitch slapping people.
Damn.
Or just straight up walk up and just claw their face. That was one of her. That was like her walking around tool.
Dude, oh shit. I'm dipping. You see that bitch coming.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I gotta clean something.
Yeah. So, if that wasn't bad enough, in 1601, she gained an ally. A woman by the name of Anna Devoya, who many considered a witch, and who is considered the person who helped evolve her taste from torture to murder.
Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, Elizabeth got far more sadistic with her torture methods, and
upped her game.
Upped her game.
Jesus.
Yeah, really kind of smoothed out some of the rough spots. You know, around 3 or 4 years after.
Dude's still at war.
No, he's back.
Oh.
But shortly after he's back, within 3 years of Anna showing up at the castle, he mysteriously gets ill and he can no longer walk, and then essentially dies.
The witch.
Yeah,
The witch.
so, the witch.
Is that what they're? Is that what you're kind of alluding to? Is that part of the theory? Is the witch?
Well, dude, it's his 1560s. So that you got to take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt, because a lot of this stuff is like legend, but there's a lot of stuff where it's like there's multiple people that are kind of like, yeah, this is the shit that happened. And so kind of one of the theories is that Anna comes in, the husband's like, this is a little bit much, even for me.
Right.
And he was a brutal motherfucker. Like, he was one of those kind of dudes that, like, even his generals were like, he's a bit much.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, and he got home and he was like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? So he dies. And then she gets darker somehow.
How do you... Oh, God.
Yeah. So Anna and Elizabeth decide to recruit who they could. Whoever's stomach was not completely turned by the fact that they're torturing these servant girls,
yeah, where they find...
it kind of comes into the fold. And one of the people that they recruit is a nurse, who Anna and the nurse consistently have competitions to see which one can be the most cruel before one of them kills a servant. This is kind of like a regular thing.
They're just toying with these people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's horrible.
So,
so the witch is worse than Bathory.
Yeah, Bathory. But so one of the legends of Bathory, and why I said that previously, is that she would drain the blood of virgins in a bathtub and soak her body in the blood of the virgins to help reverse the aging process. She was, by the way, if you weren't doing the math, she was in her 40s when her husband passed away. Murdered.
Right.
Murdered.
Died because of a witch.
So, but I mean, even in the 1560s, pushing 40 in some rough conditions.
That's a good life, man.
Yeah.
You made it.
So, yeah, you're killing
a lot of motherfuckers. You're an elder.
But
40, we're old as hell.
But the idea that she bathed in the blood of virgins is mostly considered a legend, and there is zero information that says that this is accurate.
Okay.
But that's why I called her Bathory.
Right, okay. And to be honest with you, after so far, I'm like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no,
I'm not.
It wouldn't...
yeah, that makes sense. That sounds like her.
So... at this point, she's going through so many fucking servants that she's still, like, kind of considered, like, a good Catholic woman. So she's, she basically labels the death of all these servants as cholera. But she's giving them, like, last rites and, having them get good Christian burials and that type of thing. And to the point that one of the priests who'd seen so many young people murdered says to her, basically, you will offend God if you continue to go on, along this way. And for anyone who's confused as to what the actual reason for these deaths are, that all they need to do is dig up the bodies.
Well, now you're going to offend God? Like, dude, your God is very tolerant.
Well, let's just say, like, at the time, man, there was no shortage of dead bodies. But I guess to each their own.
I mean, that's fair, but dude,
I find it funny that she's concerned about their burial, their last rites, and those kind of things when she's just slaughtering them wholesale, like left and right.
So is it to save face?
No, I mean,
does everybody know what the hell she's doing?
Yeah, pretty much. But I think most of it really was that she wanted. I mean, that was part of her upbringing. That she should, when somebody died, they needed last rites. They needed to go to the consecrated earth. They needed to, to be absolved of their sins. And
so it's funny she draws the line.
Well, she does until about now.
Oh, right.
So she decides that killing servants is a pain in the ass because then she has to retrain servants.
Sounds like a ton of them.
She has to get new servants.
It's a full-time job.
So she decides to start luring young women from the town into her castle of
They're
death.
like, hell no. I heard stories.
She gets away with this for a little while, but she's tired of dealing with the priests. So when she's done with the bodies, they're just tossing them over the wall of the castle to let the wildlife out in the forest get rid of the bodies.
So much for your religion.
Yeah, right.
And your relationship with God.
Right.
Yeah, you're doomed. It's funny that she was like a Catholic, but yet like the witch.
Yeah, well.
But again, legend. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, legend.
I'm a Catholic witch.
I'm really I'm trying to stay above board.
You're right. I'm just getting by.
So, as in anything like this, there's escalation. So, she had her cronies who would torture and slaughter and kill, and basically after a certain period of time, like, they kind of go to like the king and they're like, dude, this bitch is killing the fuck out of us. Like, can you do something?
Oh, right.
And he
her king.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And
dad.
Well, it's not her dad.
Stepdad.
Well, he's a count. So her husband was a count. So she's a countess. So they're just in the.
I don't know why I'm thinking he was a prince.
Yeah,
like okay.
I mean, it's close, but they're kind of one of those things where the king's like, they basically show up with like when I say multiple witnesses, we're talking like in the neighborhood of like 300 witnesses.
Dang.
To be like, no, dude, this fucking bitch is crazy, and the king's like, I ain't got nothing for you.
Oh.
Like turns him away at the door.
Why?
And because she's part of the royal family, and all she's doing is kill. I mean, I hate to say it this way, but all she's doing is killing servants and peasants. He don't give a fuck.
We're not pro killing servants and peasants.
Yeah, I'm not going hard on that, but like the fact is, like, it's not affecting him. Like,
he's
what?
Like, meh.
Yeah, it's like, I got more servants. I got more peasants. What do I care?
I'm the king.
Yeah, I'm the king.
Get
the fuck out of here.
300 of you.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So he basically he brushes this off.
They were Italian.
So this is Italians and Greeks. Italians and Greeks.
Yeah.
So anyway, after she enjoyed mental torture as much as she enjoyed physical torture. So she would do things like, if her seamstress messed up on a stitch or sewed one of her dresses too tight or too loose, she would take sewing needles and shove them into their fingers.
Dude, I knew you were going to say that.
And then she would say, when they're screaming in pain, she'd say, look, if the little whore doesn't like the pain in her fingers, she can pull out the needles. So the mental torture here is when they would pull out the needles, they were admitting that they were whores. And then she would do horrible things to them.
This is what we do to whores.
Yeah, this is what we do to whores. We take them down in the basement and we carve them up and eat them.
Dude, that's lose-lose.
Yeah. But if you didn't pull out the needles, then she would say, okay, then we're going to remove the thing that's the problem, and she cut your fingers off. Win-win.
Yeah. Dude, that I knew you were going to say seamstress. I was like, fucking needles, dude.
Yep.
Ever since that movie, man.
Yeah, so that was just... So she would, whenever there was what she would consider an altercation against some job that a servant had, she would craft the mental torture to match whatever it was. Yeah.
So seamstress needles.
Needles, cook, you make them eat.
Frying.
Their sous chef. There's lots of rumors of cannibalism.
Vlad.
One of the ideas that she would bathe in the bathtub of blood.
The blood.
Was discounted because many of the servants would spend their entire day cleaning the blood off the floors in the dungeon from their slaughterhouse.
Other servants and stuff.
Other servants, yeah. There's Bill.
Damn it.
There's Gwen.
That's horrible.
So, she'd throw bodies over the hill. She'd basically dig holes to get rid of bodies.
Jesus.
There was... at one point, they were getting rid of... They were killing so many fucking people that it was almost a full-time job in the servants' run to be either digging graves or discarding of bodies.
Damn. Yeah, don't fuck that job, Buck. You're gonna be buried alive.
So here's where we run into some problems.
That sounded like Jack Nicholas.
Yeah. So
or Nicholson. Nicholas. Who the fuck was a Joker?
Jack
Nicholas. Yeah, I said Nicholson.
Yeah, he's a
Golfer, right?
Yeah.
Not this, you sound just like the golfer. Jack Nichols.
Nailed it. So anyway, so she at this point she's kind of running into some financial problems. The court is not as affluent as it had once been, and actually she was, them going through the long war with the Ottoman Turks. The Count and his family was actually one of the wealthiest families in the area, and they had actually donated money to the country to kind of bail them out at one point.
That's nice.
Yeah. Another reason why the king's probably like, it's all right. She's okay. She's okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, she's getting them buried. Like she's doing the church thing.
I mean, well, she was.
Yeah, she just got tired of it. I don't need your cross eyes and bullshit. So anyway, I don't know why I'm like in this
Italian.
The Italian thing.
At least it's not boring.
Yeah. I guess. So anyway, the torture dungeon was their form of entertainment. They would when they were bored, they would just take somebody down there and decide what they were going to do. There didn't need to be a transgression at any point, but God forbid you fuck up and you slip up, because then they'd make a point to fuck you up.
I think that's what is getting me about this one, and it's so horrible. Like we've done some stuff with torture and everything, but they're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
Not because dude was stealing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doesn't sound like they're really fucking up that bad in order to get...
She fucked up that girl's dress.
Dude, that's serious.
I'm going to stick some needles in your fingers.
You deserve it. I love that dress.
Yeah, that was my dress. Anyway, so...
I
like a you.
I like him dress.
So, as I said, the family's running into some financial issues at this point. The Count's not earning because he's dead. And all they're doing is killing servants. And the people who make them money is because they're clearing out peasants. So basically she comes up with this idea that she's going to have affluent families pay her to send their children to her, and she's going to basically teach them
the ways
language.
Of torture.
No, teach them language, teach them estate management. The things that she actually knows some shit about.
I forget this entire time. She's intelligent.
Yeah. She's super smart. She's smarter than a majority of the people. Probably smarter than
the good guys.
99% of the people that are fucking bouncing around. Okay.
Right.
So anyway,
that dumb old king.
So when the rich people start disappearing,
right,
this is when real problems start.
So I hope the answer is no. She wasn't. She was actually teaching these kids. She wasn't torturing them.
No, she was killing all of them.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, that's how she. That's why she got in trouble.
Oh,
because the rich people started who give money to the king are dude, what the fuck are you doing? My kids are dying, and she keeps saying it's cholera.
Oh,
she's using the old fucking adage that it's cholera that's killing all these people, and they're dude, it's 18 times as many people die of cholera every day.
Well, this teaching the kids sounded like a new gig.
It is,
and so I didn't know.
It's just a way that she could
them.
take the money from the rich people
and still
to
have
teach,
fun killing kids.
and then still kill people, and get a steady flow of people coming in that she can kill.
Now she's getting paid to be fucked.
Yeah. So one of a
hold on. Now she's getting paid to be fucked. She's a real whore.
She's a real whore.
She's getting paid to be fucked up.
Yeah. So she's gone pro at this point.
Right.
So anyway, one of her husband's best friends from back in the war days, he had promised her husband that he would take care of her, and there's some debate here, but the guy, he's pretty well versed in some of her tastes from the husband,
but he's not fully aware.
Yeah, until he gets there and he starts doing some investigation for the king. So he
got a rat.
Yeah, so he shows up.
Is the witch still around?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah,
She just kind of.
Well, at one point, I will tell you that at one point the witch does die of a massive stroke. Supposedly, I don't know how you figure that out in fucking 15 seconds.
Right.
Fuck ever. But anyway,
these papers.
Well,
right
16. This is like 16.
Well, right.
10 or something.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Now,
we got a good handle
videos.
on. Yeah, we got a good handle on things.
Right.
We've got it all.
It was CCTV.
Yeah. So anyway, so the witch at some point dies. Doesn't really matter. Shit's still going south over in Hungary. Yeah. So this investigator guy kind of shows up, and even though he's like he was friends with the count.
What was the count's name?
I never told you. It's like Farron or something like that.
Farron.
Yeah, like I mean, it's some like weird like long fucking name.
No offense to all Farrons that are listening.
Like I'm just not. I'm not doing it. I'm not butchering names all day.
Farron Bathory.
Yeah. Unlike you, I'm not just gonna pick. Have a subject where I just butcher names the whole episode.
That's what this episode is.
This episode is stumbling through phonics.
Right. You're like, do an American fucking story.
Yeah, for real. So the investigator shows up on the scene, and Elizabeth lets him come into the house or into the castle and fixes him dinner, and he's got some of his boys there, and they're doing all right. It is said that he recorded that Elizabeth seemed very on edge during the dinner. And him and his friends got spooked when they got to the cake that was made, because after eating some of the cake, they all started feeling ill, and were concerned that they were being poisoned, so they dipped.
Rightfully, yeah.
So,
So he was strictly there, like, on orders from the king?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the deal that he had made with the king was, he goes, no matter what I find, because I'm probably going to find some shit, I will not put her on trial. He made this deal with the king, and he made it with her family. That he would not put, whatever he finds, he's not going to put it on trial as a spectacle and have her tried in front of the world. So he said, once I figure out what's going on, if I find out that there's something wrong, he's like, she just goes to jail. Like, we're not gonna do the trial.
Do not pass go.
However,
her family. When you say her family, like
she still had family, bro.
Really proud, I'm sure.
Fucking scared shitless, this bitch.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, come on, they're cousin fuckers. Like,
that's fair. I forgot. I forgot who we're dealing with here.
They're rich cousin fuckers.
Rich cousin fuckers.
So anyway, fucking really off the rails on this one. So the friends, however, the murder brigade, they are set to go to trial. It's completely. He doesn't have any love for those motherfuckers.
Wait, who? Hold on.
The nurse, the witch, and the wardrobe.
Right.
Like there's 4 of them, I think, 3 or 4, whatever. Of
right.
Like.
Hold that thought. I did this twice. I'm sorry. We're good. All right. There's 4. So
there's like 3 or 4 of these.
I remember. Yeah.
Cronies.
Right.
That are like into murder.
Right.
So, let me go here. they're up for trial. Like if this dude finds anything, he doesn't have any problem prosecuting those fuckers.
Right, just not her.
Right. So he decides that he's going to pay her another visit at one point late at night to kind of watch the house and see what the hell's actually going on over there. And
the king himself?
No, this investigator.
Oh, the dude. Yeah.
So he showed
John.
Yeah, John.
John Smith.
Gumshoe.
Yeah, right.
John Gumshoe. So
Baron's boy.
He shows up, and he just happens to show up at the same time that the witch and are doing a spell to protect Elizabeth from the powers that be, and just so happens there's like 2 dead bodies like off in the cut. So
ignore that. They died.
So
we're trying to resurrect them.
He's like, all right, man, you're done.
You're busted.
Yeah. So one of them, one of the murder cronies, they're all like prosecuted. There's over 300 fucking witnesses that come forward in this trial to be like, this is what we've seen, this is what they've done, da 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 da. All right, so like 2 of them, they just like cut their fingers off and throw them in a fire. Damn. Cut their arms and legs and shit off. Like they just fucking burn them. Fuck it, we're done.
That was easy.
I don't think I mentioned him. There was one of the cronies was a disfigured teenage boy that helped them do all this murder.
Oh, Steve.
They just cut his head off.
Damn, Steve.
Yeah.
By the way, Steve just made an appearance like in the story, like 10 seconds. Oh yeah, by the way, they cut his head off.
But see, okay, the point of this is like, so her like murder and violence just ramped up. Like It didn't like. I mean, some people like came into her life that made her better at what she was doing, but she was always a fucking nutso. Right. Like she watched the guy sewn into a horse and laughed at it.
I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. So, there, the one that was really kind of like evil, that Anna, whatever, the witch. Yeah, that's the only one I'm really naming because I'm like, she's into some shit, right? So anywho,
so what happened to the witch? How'd she?
The witch was the one who has the stroke. Oh, that's right. She has the stroke. I think she's like actually in prison. She has a stroke. Fucking dies.
Okay. Right.
So they put what's her name, the Elizabeth, in prison.
Bathory,
just like fuck it, like you're done. And so at one point, like she's in prison, and she actually gets fairly decent treatment considering, she's this horrific murderer.
Right.
Murderous. She ends up telling her prison guard one night that her hands are cold. He says, just go to sleep, and she does, and never wakes up. So fast forward a little bit, she's now dead, so they take her body out and bury her in the shadow of the castle that she had been her torture there.
What'd she die of?
Dude, it's fucking 1600s. Fucking exposure.
Next time my hands are cold, dude, I'm going to go to the doctor.
Exposure. She was probably in like close to her 60s at this point.
Yeah, right.
And she's in prison.
That's like 100. That's like 120.
Yeah, she's
like
doing
now.
hard time in Hungarian prison.
Right. Okay.
So like,
stupid.
Let's cut her a little slack on full
natural causes at that
point. Full here, dude. Right. All right. Plus, she's not getting to murder nobody.
Yeah. Withdrawals. That's what it was.
Withdrawals. So the king decides to bury her in the shadow of the castle.
Nice.
At which point, townspeople get very upset
because she got a proper
burial. So her body is exhumed and shipped over to her family's property where she was buried on the family land. So my cousin fuckers.
Wow.
So you want to hear the fun part of the story?
Yeah, sure.
In 1995, the body was. They tried to exhume the body from the Bathory land or whatever, and they dug into the grave and they found nothing inside.
Oh.
Empty casket.
In
There's
95.
yeah,
Why in 95?
I don't know, but there's no historical reason. No one's ever given a reason. Like there was no, like nobody claimed that they had taken the body. Yeah, so there's all that. This is kind of where what helps to build the.
Dude, you left it at a cliffhanger. I can see a part 2.
Find the body? What the fuck am I gonna do?
No, I'm saying, like what the theories are of what. There's got to be some cool shit.
I mean, there probably are, but the historical figure's dark enough.
Well, no, yeah, fair enough. But dude, that's kind of crazy though.
Yeah, that somebody had the idea to dig her up in the first place.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that she wasn't
like,
there.
No bones, no
yeah,
nothing.
like no, it was, your box is empty. Your box is empty.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
I didn't see that.
Literally, historically, it was documented that the body was shipped home and interned. So,
well, who knows what the thing? Well, I don't know, dude.
The cousin fuckers wouldn't care. But I mean, it could have been like down the road, like somebody like, get that bitch out of my fucking yard.
Yeah, oh, it's the wrong grade. Oh, it's the next one. We didn't look at that one though.
No, like get that bitch out of my yard, like that crazy, like I don't want that shit living in my fucking.
I don't want that there.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm out.
That's some karma, dude. Wow.
So,
Bathory, dude.
She's a pretty dark fucker, man. So the idea that she is
not only she, but just this is the second one. That whole time, in Hungary, like, dude,
they're just slaughtering wholesale.
That would suck to live there. If you weren't loaded, you were doomed.
Yeah, and even some of the loaded people were doomed. Obviously,
well, right?
Their kids are getting killed.
Yeah, some shitty kings.
Yeah, so the kings were like more concerned about the Ottoman Turks,
right,
and Muslims, and keeping the Catholic Church happy, and trying to keep some form of control over an area that's been at war for
the torturous
500 years.
Countess. We don't care about that.
Yeah, so the idea that this chick is one of the origin stories of Count Dracula, I don't buy into. I don't buy into any of that.
Well, nothing you said leads to.
Vlad was fucking plenty dark enough, and his name means Dracul,
right?
Like the dragon. Like
I get that.
Yeah,
but this one I'm going. I don't really know how
so
she ties in.
There was I kind of brushed over.
She drinking
it,
blood.
There was. I mean, some of the legends are her nickname is the Blood Countess.
Right, but that's what I'm
that
saying.
She would bathe in blood, and she was a witch, and there was reports of cannibalism and things along those lines. But a lot of those reports were historically proven as inaccurate. Of the 300 witnesses or so that came forward to testify in the murder extravaganza.
Right.
None of them confirmed this. None of them told the story of her bathing in blood.
Right.
They all confirmed, numerous torture methods and some of her proclivities, but nothing that would match her up as being.
Right.
She was a torturer. Like she enjoyed mental torture. Like I think that became more of her style towards the end, was the mental torture.
And that's, nothing worse than a smart bad guy.
Yeah, dude, it's all pretty fucking.
Dude, this is real dark.
Yeah, like the thing about the sewing needles, where it's like if the whore wants, if the whore's fingers hurt, she can pull the needles out, and then when you do it, it's like, oh, so you're admitting you're a whore?
Yeah, you know what whores get.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, yeah, that's brutal.
So, like...
Or they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then cut your fingers off.
Damn!
And then they cut your fingers off.
High five.
Let's I know. Let's get rid of the thing that causes all the problems and cuts your fingers off and shit. And, which essentially is like your livelihood. I mean, if you were a seamstress and you, I got this great job, Mom. I'm gonna be in the Countess's court. I'm gonna be making some dresses.
Oh no!
It's amazing. And then they just fucking cut off your fingers and shit.
Damn. Sewing with your teeth. Yeah, that's fucked. That's mean, dude.
Dude,
She did a lot of mean shit.
Well, yeah.
This is a horrible human being.
Welcome to the meat grinder.
Okay, possibly the first serial killer. Or
This is historically considered the first historical serial killer ever, like, written down about. Like,
yeah, okay.
I mean, so in argument's sake, like,
is she a serial killer or is she?
Well, she's definitely a mass murderer, but she's definitely a serial killer. There's ritual to it,
Yeah.
but there's a cooling off period, although not much of one.
Well, but she had her target was always the same. It was always
Yeah. So it's 3 or more, cooling off period, XYZ.
Right.
That's I guess the definition.
The FBI's definition.
Right. But so here's the deal. Like, in that time period, you had people that would slaughter, like, wholesale. Like, you had like your Genghis Khans, your Vlad the Impalers. You had Xerxes. Like, you had people that were leaders that would kill people, and it was not really considered.
They also had armies killing people for them.
It wasn't really considered serial killing.
Right.
Because they're not doing it. For the most part. In some cases, they definitely were. Like, Vlad the Impaler definitely was.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan definitely was.
Right.
But they're doing it more as a policy. Like, they're doing it as, their foreign policy is to kill.
Right.
She's doing this for fun, for pleasure,
personal
for ritual.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She tortures, she maims, she kills for the enjoyment of watching others suffer.
She's vicious, man.
So, while
damn, Lord,
while
did you know all that shit?
While the others may have derived some enjoyment from the horrors that they exacted upon society, her entire goal was that.
Right.
Like, it was never like, oh, I'm trying to squash a revolution, or, I mean, punishing the help is a strong response to why she's doing this, So.
Damn, man.
Yeah. She is definitely brutal.
Yeah, and I'm still sewn into a horse thing.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe shouldn't have led with that, because that's pretty rough. But, I mean, that does kind of set the stage. Like, this is something she found funny.
Right.
And, so. I think one of the things that...
Died in a cell. That's too good for her.
Well, that's what money and affluence...
She like, outlived everyone.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, she killed fucking...
Well, but I'm saying, like, all of her friends, like, just because of her age alone.
Yeah. Well...
Like, somebody does that kind of horrific shit her entire life and lives till...
Dude, she might still be alive, bro. She got cold. Damn, dude. She didn't end up in the box. The box is empty.
The box is empty.
The box is empty, bro.
Check the children. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So...
that ended on a spooky good time.
Well, the thing that I find the most interesting... Well, one of the more interesting pieces of the story is that the king didn't do shit.
No.
Until it was people who were paying his bills were, like, starting to show up, like, hey, motherfucker.
Yo, you want my money?
Yes.
Handle her.
You better be solving this.
Right.
And that's the only reason that this whole thing came crashing down. Had she not gotten greedy? I don't know if it's greed, because, I mean, the castle had fallen into disrepair. The kingdom was no longer... I mean, what does she do? She's killing the fuck out of everybody, bro.
Yeah, nobody's going to take care of her shit. She kills everybody.
Well, that and the fact that it's like, okay, well, the numbers in the town are dwindling, so you're not getting tax money.
Right.
You got nobody farming, you got nobody building, you got nobody doing anything.
Is there a body count?
Yeah, okay, so this is some of the argument here. Because of time.
Well,
lost to legend and lore.
Well, that's why they're estimated.
On the low end, she's attributed with over 60 bodies.
60?
Just herself. That's not counting her murder clan. So
Personally, 60.
Herself, she's attributed with 60 murders.
I think
the strong evidence. There's strong evidence to consider that she's probably more in the realm of 600.
Right. Okay.
with the amounts of bodies and really kind of looking at census numbers, like, okay, there was this many people, and there was that. I mean, there's some things like, you know, high mortality rate in that area. You know, you got cholera, was an existent
legit
problem.
cholera, right?
But then there's an outside. So one of her maids or whatever, one of her servants found one of her diaries, and this was
been a good read.
This was
Jesus.
She testified to this at the court proceeding, but it was never confirmed. But in the diary, it was supposedly, it said that there were 1,600 that she had killed. And this is not like 1,600 with an army. This is 1,600 like up close and personals.
Well, just because of the time span, I would assume it'd be more than 60.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, there's like when you do these kind of like historical facts. Like, they say 60 because they're like, okay, well, we can't prove any more than 60. But all the evidence is saying, like, you know, because wild animals are going to carry the shallow graves off. They're just tossing bodies over the side of the fucking castle.
Right.
And, you know.
Well, that was only after, you know, so much time. Dude, this is the third. We'll probably have to wrap it up soon. Yeah, I mean, dude, that was after so much time, you know what I'm saying?
So, I don't know.
So, pre-tossing bodies, they can count the burial, but again...
Do I think there's 1,600? Maybe. I would not... I don't think of this chick as, like, a boaster. Like, especially in your diary.
Right.
Like, why is she going to pad the numbers in her own diary?
Right.
And it wasn't something that she wanted other people to see.
No, right. It's a diary.
Yeah. So most people put her at 600. Between...
Even if it's 60.
Yeah. It's a hard 60.
I mean, right.
It's a hard 60.
Even if it's 60. Well, damn, dude. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Out of Elizabeth Bathroy, right? Bathory. Surprised more people haven't covered this one.
I'm sure they have. They probably just call it like Blood Countess or something.
Oh, maybe.
But I don't know. I found it an interesting story.
See, I don't get the vampire.
Vlad is your boy.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I did find it interesting that 100 years kind of go by, and then that area catches another just brutal.
Dude, Vlad was probably her like fucking hero.
Yeah, man. But Vlad put up some fucking numbers, bro.
Well, yeah, dude.
Like
more than the space Nazi.
Yeah, man. Vlad, like,
I don't know more space Nazi.
Well, confirmed.
Definitely.
Definitely. I mean, dude, he stacked what, 25,000 in a city?
That's true.
On stickers.
One time.
Yeah, one time. It's like,
stickers.
Hey, bro, I got your pot stickers.
Pot stickers.
So I don't know, man. I found it interesting.
It was interesting.
Yeah,
it was fucking way darker than I thought.
Yeah. Son into a horse.
I enjoyed it. I hate to say that, but I was so new to me that I was like...
Yeah, that's kind of how I was, man. When I was doing the research, like, when I was early in the research, I was like, all right, man, this one's going from the fences from the get.
From the jump.
Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of times it's like, oh, I was captured and all this horrible shit happened to me, and then da-da-da. No, this bitch started from the green light crazy.
Well, that's my new one. Yeah, keep talking shit, motherfucker. I'll sew you into a horse.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of accent that was.
Your box is empty.
Your box is empty.
I love that. That's my new thing.
Oh,
your box
shit.
is empty.
There's a few t-shirts in this one.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well,
Blood Countess.
Great shit. Send us some money or you get some pics.
I thought that. The reverse OnlyFans.
Reverse OnlyFans. Oh, shit. All right, man. You good on this?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
All right. Great shit.
All right.